And boom, we are live. Hi, everybody. It's another beautiful Saturday night. It's always a fun night for me, I guess, when we get to do these sessions. Tonight we have a special treat. You've probably seen the posters now, and I'm really excited that she's on here tonight. Miss Justine Bulan. Hi, how are you tonight?
Hello, good evening, Matt. Hello, Pride community. How are you?
Me, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Again, really excited you're here. Your work on yourself has been, profound. Reading through what you've written, I could really feel the shifts that happen in moments because you talk in chapters of your life, and I found that there was a defining thing in those chapters that I guess we'll figure out. I figured out a bit in myself, but I wanted, to hear from you. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for inviting me to the Pride community. I'm really excited and looking forward to sharing my story in hopes of helping the people who will be watching this show. Ayan. So, thank you
Mm,
so
thank
much.
you. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So I can so I actually prepared the slide
Mm,
just
go
so
for
we
it.
can be guided. Ayan. So I'll just
Yeah.
share my screen. Let's see. Share screen.
Mhm.
Wait lang. All right. Okay. And then can you see my screen na?
I will edit the stream. There we go.
All
I can see
right.
it. Yeah.
Ayun, perfect. Ayan. So, when Lisa asked me about ano no, the topic, so what really came to me is ano, how to have faith in times of difficulty and uncertainty. Because we know naman in life, very normal part of life na meron difficulty and uncertainty. And then I added here, ano, without falling into spiritual bypassing. Kasi I think that's also one of the things na we have to look out for. Um, Faith is, it could be related to or tied into religious or spiritual beliefs, but sometimes we jump na dun sa bigger picture without really touching on our ano, humanity, yung gift of being human. And that is the going through the ano. Anyway, I'll be expounding later on. Pero yan.
Mm.
So yung topic ko, ayan. So how to have faith. Nilagyan ko kapit lang kapatid. Kasi di ba yan yung lagi natin sinasabi, kapit lang. Ayan. So yan. And then just to ano, give you an overview of the flow. So I'll be sharing a little bit of my story, and then I prepared a short roadmap to help naman to offer a roadmap to the viewers, to help you yun nga, how to navigate this difficulty and uncertainty, and of course a toolkit, and then we'll wrap it up. Ayan. And then this is going to be a free flowing sharing and conversation. So Matt, please feel free to ano no to jump
I
in
will.
and to share if you have any thoughts or whatever comes up for you. Ayan. And
I might have.
then
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
yes,
Thank
please,
you for
please,
asking.
yeah. I'm sure you have lots to share then with the topic that
Eager,
we'll be
actually.
talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah. All right. And then if ever there are questions, yeah, I'll be happy to answer. Ayan. All
Throw those
right.
questions out there in a bit, guys, for people's watching. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Type nyo lang sa comments. Ayan.
Mm.
So, ayan. So, little bit backstory. So, who am I? Ayan. So, again, my name is Justine. And I like to introduce myself as a lover of life, a wanderer, and an agent of light. Ayan. So, I have this great love for life. And that led me to um, sharing this joy, this love for life with other people. And also wanderer kasi I tend to get lost. Ayan nga, I wrote and self-published my book. Thank goodness I got lost. Ayan, A Wanderer's Journey to Self-Discovery, where I shared my journey of getting lost in life and finding my way back. And then that led me to being a to the path of being an intuitive life guide. So it's I don't resonate kasi with life coach. So I like to call myself a guide. So I am a companion and a guide for people through my writing, through my coaching. I also do trainings, workshops, and also through my posts sa social media sa Facebook. Ayan. So
Mhm.
different mediums, different channels. Ayan. But ayan. So, I have all this, ano, no, as I shared, I see myself as an agent of light, a lover of life. But, years ago, I think, ano ba, 17 years ago, kung tama yung aking math,
Mhm.
17 years ago, I wasn't that kind of person yet. In fact, in 2005, that was, I would say the rock bottom, my rock bottom, because that was the time that I really felt this desire. Actually, hindi siya desire. I felt this hopelessness na sa buhay na I really wanted to end it all. I remember I was in our dorm, in our apartment. I was in college then. And I was, sorry, medyo graphic, pero I was already holding a blade and I was crying my heart out and ready to end it all. Um, Before that, I wasn't diagnosed, but I would say that I was going through depression, years of depression from I think high school years to college years. So
Mhm.
for more than 5 years, going through depression.
Mhm.
And at that time, 2005, I felt ayoko na, give up na ako. Yan.
Mhm.
But I remembered also that time na something within me is whispering to hold on. Just one more day, just hold on. And I couldn't explain at that time, like, where that thought was coming from, but I listened to it. And then looking back, I know that that is God speaking to me and telling me that, hey, your life is not yet over. There's still something for you to do. So just hold on. And fast forward, I'm grateful that I listened to that voice. But yung journey from that point when I wanted to die, to end it all, to up to now na I have this great love for life, hindi siya straight na path, hindi siya linear path. It's just so messy. And yun nga, kaya ko na-share itong topic na to is because I know that, in this life, there's so much darkness. There's pain, there's difficulty, there's challenges, there's uncertainty. And all these things can really affects us, di ba? And I also realized going through my own darkness that all these things are actually preparing us, equipping us, helping us so that we can be ready to whatever mission God has entrusted to us.
Mhm.
So, ito nga yung I want to invite people na in a world shrouded in darkness, be the light. Ayan. So, yan yung aking
Mhm.
calling na na-feel ko, yung soul's work ko, yung soul vision. And that is why I wanna share and talk about this topic. So, how can we cultivate that
Me
faith?
too.
Yeah. Ayan. So, yun. So, what's in it for the reader? So, hopefully by the end of this, you will be able to help. I will be able to help share tools and also like inspiration to help you with your own daily challenges so that you can manage your stress and feelings of anxiety, be more fully present in your life, live a life of peace, bliss, and peace, and create ripples of positive, lasting impact. Because again, my vision is I want to invite people to shine their light because I believe that we are all here to co create a world of lasting peace, unlimited abundance, unconditional love for us and the generations to come. So, yun ang aking mission for today, for tonight. Ayan. So far, ayan. Ayan. So, now with the roadmap na tayo. If you have any question, Matt, feel free to ano na,
Yeah,
cut me.
I just want to praise you for that light you mentioned, and that really made sense. That what you go through sometimes, you got to look at it from different angles and see where you can shine the most on, and perpetuate that light. Try to understand and give it out, and you can deliver that. Yeah. So thank you so much. Please continue.
All right, ayan. So, I saw this post sa Facebook. Sabi niya, so how's life? Tinatanong niya isang tao. Tapos, yeah, everything's on track, thanks. Ayan. Pero you can see naman the track. It's very sira-sira na. Di ba? Parang feeling ko it captures the life that we have now. Yeah, everything's on track, but really, like, there's difficulty in life, there's uncertainty, we don't know what's ahead, right? But then, how can someone say, yeah, everything's on track? Parang great pa siya, di ba? So, that's faith,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Right? And sabi nga ni Merriam-Webster, ayan, so what is faith? It is complete trust and it is a firm belief in something for which there is no proof. Ayan. So, I'm not just talking about
Mm.
religion here. Yeah, it can be something, whatever you believe in. Like if you believe in God, the universe, spirit, higher power. I really, for me personally, I believe that there is something bigger than us that is, you know, um, organizing, blessing us, guiding us, protecting us. So, ayan. So, it can also be a faith in yourself, right? Even if you have no proof na kaya ko ba to, pero you have that faith in yourself. So, yan. All right. So, how can we cultivate this faith? Ayan. So, I actually, ano, so first is allow what is. So, ito na yung roadmap natin, no? Ayan, allow what is. So, what does that mean? So, for me, I created this SNAP na acronym. Ayan, SNAP, meaning we see the situation for what it is. Right? So, meaning na we're not just, remember I shared before na we're not just avoiding na mag-spiritual bypass. So, we're not
Mm.
looking at the world with, ano yun? Tinted with, rose-tinted colors
Mm.
ba yun? Glasses, ayan. Yeah,
I
na
love it.
parang laging positive, right?
Mm.
No, we see the situation as it is. So, if it sucks, it sucks, right? Something
Sure.
is bad, something is bad. Yeah. And then we name the experience, we name our thoughts, our feelings. If you're a fan of Harry Potter, remember si Voldemort, di ba? He who must
Mm.
not be named. Pero once they named him, parang kasi something that we do not name,
Mm.
it has a power over us. But once we acknowledge it, parang nagde-decrease yung power, yung hold niya sa atin.
Sure. Yeah, I
Um,
believe that.
yes. So yeah. So if you're feeling sad, then name it. I am feeling sad. This sucks. This is like I feel terrible. Name it, and then allow yourself to feel then, right? So that's part of naming the experience. And then we avoid denying, rejecting, wishing the situation away, or even blaming others. Ayan, feeling guilty. Why? Because if we're doing that, then we are trapped in that wishful thinking. and we put our focus in the past, which is already nangyari na, hindi na natin mababago, right? And if we allow ourselves to be focused on the past, then we cannot put our focus in the present moment where our power lies. Kasi in the here and now, we have a choice on how we can move forward so that we can change yung future natin. So, ayan. So, again, snap, we allow what is. So ito, share ko lang a little quote from my book. Ayan. So when I live in awe and gratitude, I consciously and intentionally look for and focus on the positive. I see miracles, divine intervention, synchronicities, and coincidences at work in my life. So, ayan. So we're really shifting. We're allowing what is. Yeah, we're recognizing it. Pero we also focus on the present moment, and we focus on what's positive. We intentionally look for what is positive. Ayan. And it's actually connected to the next
Nice.
step, which is yung control what you can. Ayan. So, um, if you're familiar with this, we have this no, circle of control and influence. So the middle part, so this one is what you can control, what we can control, what I can control. And then we can have influence around other things. And then the red one is what I am choosing to let go because these are the things that are way outside of our control. Ayan. So, I coordinated it, color coordinated it. Yan. So, green for what you can control. So, meaning go, do what you can, control what you can. Right? So, I'm curious, Matt, can you think of what are things now we have control over?
Mm, good question, Miss Justine. Now, I will grind my mind out of that. Well, one thing that's evident to me of what I can control is, Miss Justine, is like how I can change the narrative or story of what primarily looks bad. I say to myself that there's something I could do because evidently in my life there has been always been something I could do if I look hard and well enough to see some life possibly worth taking, and basta it should have the right intentions and the application of my action should be right and just too, so that but I have to be an action taker too. I have to put effort and energy in. I have to move somewhere else and do something, create friction that opposes the other, and see from there what results gave me, and from there judge the next step. And yeah, thank you, Miss Josie, for asking me.
All right. Yes, thank you for your answer, Matt. Yes. So, simply put, what we can control is how we are able to respond, right? Like how you can shift the story, how you can move forward, what actions you can take. That's where our control is. Like sa sarili mo lang, right? Sa
Mhm.
sarili ko lang, nandun yung makokontrol ko yung actions ko, yung thoughts ko, how I feel, how I shift my narrative the same way with you. How you act, how you feel, how you think, right? How you can move forward. And the same with others. So, nandun yung control natin. Now, in terms of what we can influence, ayan. So, in terms of what we can influence, can you think naman of of things na you
Yes.
have influence?
Possibilities that could be favorable and advantageous for me. That those are the things I think I can influence if I do this. The first thing you asked me, which is put in effort and time and actionable steps that were well thought of, that could lead to that uh, the influence of outcome. Yeah, the whatever I intended to see in it, be it having it good intentions in it, then my attempts to influence it might happen. So yeah, it's
Yes.
possibilities.
All right. Yes, tama, no? So we can, thank you for that, Matt, no? So we can, yes, we can influence the outcome. We can influence the opportunities that we receive.
Mhm.
We can influence even the relationships that we have,
Mhm.
right? And in terms of what you said about the intention, um, I believe naman good or bad,
Mhm.
that's the reality, right? Good or bad,
Right there.
the intention we can influence. So now the choice is ours na do we want to have a good influence to have, from good intention? Do we want to come from good intention or are we coming from a bad intention? So yun, just want to share that.
Yeah.
And thank you for that, Matt. And then lastly, what I choose to let go. Ayan. So what are the things naman that you think we have no control over pero nakaka-impact pa rin sa atin?
Relationships that aren't responding to me trying to influence it in a positive way as I thought the intentions were as positive as they can be. I could reach for and stretch my creative mind on. It's not budging, and most of the times, all these efforts I put in are pointed towards another human being. Because everything I do has the response I get is from other human beings. So if it's not working as much as I see it in my mind, and I'm trying to be persuasive as I can, but what makes me pursue this persuasiveness, enthusiasm, and endeavor still in them, as much time as I put it on it, is dependent in my intention. Like, I really feel this is worthwhile, then I will persist. But if my persistence has met its match that this person thinks otherwise, then I think I could choose not to let go. But I can only come to that point if I tried enough. So I've concluded I have tried enough, and I guess it's not gonna budge. And that doesn't really matter or hurts me, because just as long as I know I put in enough good effort and intention in it. So yeah.
Mhm. All right. Thank you for sharing that, Matt. Ayan. Yes. So, um, what I heard, no, after putting in the good intention, after giving everything that you've got, yes, you can influence the opportunity, the outcome, the other person even, but the other person also has their own will. The opportunity, the
Mm,
result is totally outside of our control na. So
yes.
once we've given everything that we've got, then the outcome we can choose to let go because we do not have full control over it. Ayan. Ayan. And then other things now we do not that just to share then very quickly, like the traffic situation, going back grounding ourselves to daily challenges naman, the traffic situation, the weather, the politics, ayan. So other things
Yeah.
na can impact us, but at the end of the day, we really do not have control over it. So how can we? Ayan.
Mm.
So how can we now shift our stories, how we experience it, para we experience it differently. So these are the
Mhm.
questions naman I want to share. That's something that we can ask ourselves so that we can put, kasi if we can look back, no, parang ang laki-laki nung nung circle na wala tayong control. And then yung control natin, yun yung
That's a
pinaka-smallest
lot.
circle, right? But we can put the power, we have the power again to choose. So we can ask ourselves this question. So for the things that are beyond our control, how can we choose to experience it differently so that we can make peace with it? Ayan. And then what could be the gift or lesson that this experience bring, and who do I need to become so that we can be the best version of ourselves no matter what? Ayan. So when we ask these questions, we are putting the power back to ourselves. So in that way, we can co-create our reality, and we can feel more controlled na. We have more control. Ayan.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Ayan.
Powerful.
So, ayan. Yeah, just a reminder. Yan. Each moment is a choice, each breath a turning point. So, ayan. So, whenever we feel that we do not have control over things, remember that at the end of the day, we can choose how we think, how we feel, how we respond, how we can shift the stories in our minds so that
Mm.
we can um, move forward ayan, in a better light. Ayan. All right. And then last, ayan, we had trust, release, and surrender. Kasi sabi mo nga kanina, di ba, after giving it your all, even with good intentions, ayan, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
the outcome is outside of our control. So that is when we trust, release, and surrender. This is now where faith comes in for me. But
Mm.
we have to remember, no, na there is us, so there is you, and then there is God, divine, universe, higher power, spirit, whatever you believe in. So something beyond us, something bigger than us.
Mhm.
And then there's also the world. So the
Correct.
collective consciousness, there's other people also and their free will, kumbaga. So
Mm.
all of these
True.
things ano siya, they have factor in, 'di ba? So hindi lang tayo, kumbaga yung tao sa mundo. Ayan,
Right.
even those.
True.
So we
That's
have
massive,
to,
bro.
yeah. Ayan. So after everything na we have given it all, this is now where faith in action comes in. So I believe na if we trust that life is happening for us and through us, then we can see ourselves as a co-creator with the divine. And from that, we can take
Mm.
inspired and aligned actions rooted in our faith and then release and surrender the outcome. Allow ko lang,
Wow.
let's breathe that in. Ayan. So, kasi minsan, di ba, when we say faith, dito na yung nasabi ko na spiritual bypassing, no? Um, Sometimes sabi natin, ay bahala na si God. Yes, we surrender it to God, but we also have to do our part. We have to show up and do our part
Mhm.
so that we can do what we can to put the favor in us, di ba? As you said, coming from good intention, taking the right action, ayan. So, hindi enough na yung trust lang. It must be rooted in in doing something, right? So we start with being the co-creator that we are, and then doing what we can, and then letting go. So that's hindi pwede na ay bahala na siga tapos wala kang gagawin. Di
Yeah,
ba?
that can be.
Ayan. So hindi siya, yun yung faith na how we can have the faith to navigate the uncertainty and challenges in life. Ayan. So I believe that life is an invitation to let the seed planted inside of us to grow and bloom. So I really believe that we have a purpose to fulfill in this world, and it is written at the very core of our being. And if we remember that in times of difficulty and challenges, then we can um, rise above whatever we are experiencing. Ayan. So yun. Before I continue, do you have any questions or anything you want to share? Add?
I really love, and thank you for asking me, Miss Justine. Love. I really love that you said there and ended there, and we're transitioning to the toolkit now. But I really love what you said that there's something in us already built, and it's on next to discover that. And the way you talked about faith and letting go and taking action, putting in the effort. You're the co-creator. Now, what does the co-creator do? The co-creator has to be an active participant in the process. Now, being an active participant in the process doesn't entirely mean a good time, but you got to be there in the worst times too, building a foundation for you, understanding the platforms of your emotions to your taking actions, how you connect those two, and does it what other things and tools matter in the process of taking action that you should consider whilst being the co-creator. And so you want to make it look good. I mean, you want to, because this is yourself. We're talking about ourselves. You want to make yourself peaceful, and you understand what you're doing, and the process is just helping us get to know all these toolkits and aspects that help and support and serve an interest that has is beginning to be something you like to do a lot, and it sounds good. It feels even better working on it. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Justine, for asking.
All right. Thank you for beautifully wrapping that up, summarizing that. Thank
Thank you.
you, Matt. Ayan. So I shared earlier na the point where I was before when I was going through my rock bottom and to where I am now, it was really messy. It was not an easy journey. Definitely. Um, Again, I wasn't diagnosed, but I went through depression, and I was really a very pessimistic person before. Maybe you won't believe it, pero super negative kong tao before. My self-talk
Amen.
is really um, parang lahat ng masamang nangyayari sa buhay ko,
Mm-hmm.
sinisisi ko sa sarili ko. Like that, I'm that kind of person before. Ayan. Parang kahit yung, I remember going to, kasi I'm living in Muntinlupa, and then I went to St. Scholastica's College, Manila for college. And then, nagko-commute ako. And then, I was late na sa, about to be late na sa klase. And then, super traffic. So, may TAF. Konti na lang. Pati yun, sinisisi ko pa sa akin na parang ano ba yan, napakamalas mo talaga. Ayan, ganong klase akong yung self-talk ko before. Super, negative. And then, I remember praying na when I was going through my darkness, no, I really
Mm-hmm.
remember praying to God na, Lord, ibigay mo na lang sa ibang tao yung buhay ko. Like, I'm just a waste of space. I have nothing. Like, my life is a waste. Bigay mo na lang sa ibang tao na mas makakapagtulong, makakabless pa sa ibang tao. So, I was that kind of person.
Wow.
So, what helped me to go from that person to who I am now? Ayan. So these are just some of the things na for me work in cultivating and deepening my faith. My faith in God, my faith in myself, my faith in the universe, in higher power, my faith in my purpose. Ayan. So first is journaling. I really believe in the power of journaling. Before,
Mm-hmm.
sinusulat ko lang kung ano yung nangyayari sa akin, like how my day was. So I was just repeating, kumbaga, telling the story of how my day went. But it shifted. What helped me is I shifted my journaling into first doing a gratitude journal. So thinking about things that I'm grateful for. That helped rewire my brain from being a negative person to
Mm-hmm.
someone who is intentionally looking at the positive in life. Ayan. And
Mm-hmm.
then, mhm. And then I also ask empowering questions. So I'm not only writing about my day, but I'm writing about how I am choosing to show up and how I am
Mm-hmm.
choosing to change how I show up in the world, how I answer the call of my life. So remember the questions
Mm-hmm.
kanina. So those are just some of the questions that I also asked myself before. Yan. So how can I shift my perspective so
I
that I can
love it.
experience things differently?
It's effective, yeah.
All right. And then meditation and prayer. Ayan. So for me, prayer is when we talk to God, and then meditation is when we sit in silence and stillness and allow God to talk to us. And or if
Mhm.
you know if you don't believe in God, so spirit or universe or your higher self,
Mhm.
connecting with that. And so meditation also helped me to be an observer of
Mhm.
what's happening.
Wow.
Kumbaga, mas detached na. Kasi I went through a 10-day silent retreat.
Mhm.
And for that retreat, I was able to practice na just observing my thoughts and really thinking na, okay, I am not my thoughts, I am not my feelings. So, it again, dun sa control, right? We can choose how we think, we can choose how we feel. So, ayun. And then next is
Wow.
nature healing. So getting out in nature. Magpa-araw ka. I love walking barefoot on the ground. If
Mm.
nakakapunta ako sa mga sa mga nature, ayan,
Mhm.
sa beach, ayan. And then, body movement. So, exercise, pwedeng, depende kung ano nag-resonate sa'yo. If you want more relaxed yoga or if you want na more active na running, ayan.
Mhm.
Just keep our body moving kasi it also helps in changing our thinking, kumbaga. Like, di ba nagre-release tayo ng, ano nga bang hormone yun? Oxytocin ba?
I think
Yan,
so, yeah.
kapag nag-exercise, ayan. And it helps us to be in a better mood, ayan. And then mindfulness practices, ayan. So being, yun nga, same, choosing where we put our focus on, ayan. And then being fully present in the here and now. And then also self-compassion, being kind to ourselves, ayan, very big yan. And also
Mhm.
yung positive self-talk. So, changing the script in our minds, in our heads. So, if before, lagi kong, ang SOP ko ay sinisisi ko lagi yung sarili ko every time na may maling nangyayari. Ngayon, I just tell myself na kapag nagkakamali ako, ay, okay, so we made a mistake. What have we learned here? How can
Yeah.
we move forward? And then, if may nangyaring out of my control, then, okay, okay, yun na yun. So
Yeah.
wala nang attachment dun sa sarili ko na ay kasalanan ko yata 'to. Ayan.
Nice. Yeah,
Right.
and it's nice that we get a sharper look at the things that we actually affect and the things that have nothing to do with us. And once we know that we don't actually affect it in any way, we're just a piece of surrounding piece of puzzle there. Like we were just some background that added to this. Well, you could either be embarrassment for the other because they're doing something there and you're just around and then you think, oh, maybe I did something. No, no, you were just there walking by and just you saw it, you heard it, and you didn't contribute to it. Sure, they glanced at you, but it wasn't you. But yeah, um, I just want to say real quick before we transition more into this conversation, which I really love, especially the journaling up until the end. The journaling really hit hard because you're finding things to be grateful for, and once you lock on that, things start to change. Like your mood just begins to feel gratitude, and it's like a drug. But the thing is, you can squeeze it out anytime you think of grateful things. So yeah, and you become a better person to be around with. So yeah. First off, we get the most recent comment here from Rael Leitiquez. I really hope I said your last name right. You have a unique last name. I really love it. And great picture, man. Watching from Batangas. And we'll just read through a few here. Yeah, have faith, but still show up and take action. That's really how you use faith. You show up and you take action because you believe in something else as an outcome for it. And it's a positive tone to it because you won't find a human being taking action in a disadvantageous intent. We're not even gonna. think for this the second step and taking action in it, because it'll make us look bad in multiple ways and not advantageous times. And we have here from Ms. Hazel, see, letting go of the past and things na hindi na nakakatulong sa atin. Yeah, it could be addiction, it could be smoking, it could be drinking. Once your mind starts to whisper, hey, it's not really working out when you keep going out, hanging out with these people, smoke that cigarette so much, that brand, you drink that brand of beer too much, and you're not really talking about the meaningful things inside your peer groups. And your peer groups are in question too. Your little voice, like, all these things, like, please entertain me. Like, I'm trying my best here to tell you things, whisper to you things that could make us better because I'm in you, little voice, I'm in you. Like, I'm trying my best here, but I think we know once we've crossed the line in ourselves. And I think the hardest part is listening because I can't even begin to explain why we're rooted in the processes of disadvantageous times. I mean, we know it, but it's so hard to break from it. So yeah, but all these toolkits really help dive into the voice that's supporting us, the journaling part up until the positive self-talk. It's like now the voice that is telling you before not to do things is now telling you that you're doing the right things and you're making me really happy. So, and the people around you, it's become evident to you. So yeah, thank you, Ms. Josephine, for bringing all these toolkits now and telling us how to use them, because that's the best way I feel from the toolkits and the explanation that we can attack these things that are stopping us from actually, sitting down and having a good time, you know, in life in general. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Justine. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Matt. And so I love what you said about ano no, yung about the our friend, our groups. Ayan. Kasi
Mhm.
may next part. Ayan. So support and be supported. So I also believe no that the people that we surround ourselves with are really um they really have an influence. Remember the circle of influence, di ba?
Yeah.
The same way that we can influence others, other people can also influence us. So we need to be really discerning of who we
Hmm.
allow in our space, in our sacred space. And so with that, when I went um, through that my dark journey, my my journey before, no, um, I would say na I went through it most of that journey by myself. Like I was able to um, go through that journey without really someone hand holding me. But I
Hmm.
did ask for help. I did ask, I did share about what I'm experiencing and also seek advice from people that I trusted. So the same way that if we are going through something or difficulty or challenges, that we can also ask for help from trusted family or
Hmm.
friends, right? And then we can also seek mentorship, coaching, and therapy. Because sometimes,
Hmm.
especially if you have been ano no diagnosed um, with
Hmm.
mental with your mental health, sometimes we really need additional help and support to help us navigate through that. So yeah, and mentorship can come from in the form of books, in the form of ito yung mga webinars, podcasts,
Yeah.
mga
Yes.
talks, ayan. And then, join Energy Plus and life-giving communities like the Prime Community. Ayan.
Sure. Sure.
Right? We want to be, kasi if we really want to cultivate our faith, di ba, and we want to
Hmm.
shift our mindset, then we have to be in people, we have to be with people with a similar
Yes.
mindset as well. Ayan.
Of course.
And actually, we want to be with people who we aspire to be, who we aspire to become. So, ayan.
Oh
And
yeah.
then, yeah, very important. Kasi they will lift you up eh. And then, we can
Mm.
all lift each other up. Ayan. Imbis na we're bringing each other down. Diba? So yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes if we're down, we need to helping other people can also shift our energy because
Mm.
instead of focusing on ourselves we are shifting our focus into helping others, and that gives us that feeling of, hey, I'm contributing to something bigger than myself. So that also helps in shifting our
Mm.
perspective in life. And then of
Definitely.
course, yes, connect with your spiritual team. Ayan. So I really
Mm.
believe now we are surrounded by, if you believe in angels, again, spirit, God,
Mhm.
the universe, ayan. So whatever you believe in, so connect with that, and ask for their help as well. Ayan. Again,
Mm.
have faith, but yeah, show up and take action then. Ayan.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
All
Yes.
right.
Before we wrap up, I really love
Mm-hmm.
that you ended that last segment with spirituality. There are angels, signs, the universe. I really do think, you know, asking the divine, because you have that inner voice that's always there, right? It's a supporting voice. I don't think um it ever meant to hurt anyone, but continuous prolonged ignorance in not entertaining the voice that's supporting you. Like maybe it's just as simple as stop what you're about to put in your mouth, what you're about to say to another person, another human being. You actually know, like, you should stop now. And but if you break that line again, it gets harder and harder for this voice to support. But when you ask for help, and then okay, human being, you ask for help. Here, apologize. That's as simple as something you could fix about yourself, because another human being has felt your wrath of unnecessary drama. And once you can do the thing that was asked from you, once what you asked for was a way out of some things, but sometimes it completely takes you out of the shortcut. There are no shortcuts here in life. You just gotta apologize. You just gotta do the right thing. You just gotta pursue it much longer. I know there aren't, signs of progress as maybe the metrics a human being is using as progress isn't the right metrics. Maybe it's the spiritual metrics. Maybe it's the are you giving as much value metric. Now those are great metrics to look at for progress, but if we're looking at something so low as of the early of the process of money, well, you got to build that credible version of you first. Are you willing to pursue a meaningful life that provides that kind of assistance to you? And well, what's your mission, man? What's your purpose? Like, what are you trying to do? What's worthwhile? And I think that's what we lead into if we get the right action steps first with asking for help from the divine, the universe, getting to know that sweet voice that's helping you. And once you tune into that, every day feels great because the opportunities are just easy to tame or seize because something's helping you, man. So yeah, thank you so much, Miss Justin Bulan.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Yes, it reminded me earlier, what I shared about that small, still voice in my head when I was so ready to end it all. Na if we
Mm,
just listen, no,
mm,
because it will guide us in the right direction. We just
mm,
really need to listen to that.
mm,
It's a whisper. It's a nudge. So we have to really
mm.
be still in our hearts. Yes.
Yeah, it's
And
a
I really
nudge.
believe that, yes, that purpose that you said, that mission, I really believe na, I think looking back, one of the things that really um, had a huge factor why I was so lost in life before was because I didn't know why I was alive. Like at
Mm.
such a young age, I was already asking those questions. Now, why am I here in this world? Parang I cannot see a purpose for my life. But when I chose to live my life anew, I
Mm.
still didn't know what my purpose is. I just trusted that I have a purpose. So sometimes we can start from there. So,
Mm.
ayan,
Wow.
we don't really know what it is yet. We just have to believe that we have that purpose. We are here for a purpose.
Mm. That's enough in the beginning.
Yes.
Thinking provide.
Yes. Mhm.
Wow,
All
thank you so
right.
much. And that actually, yeah, please.
All right. So, wrap up na tayo. So,
All
these
right.
are again, so again, faith in action. So, how can we have faith in times of difficulty and uncertainty? We act. So, we
Mhm.
allow what is, we control what we can, and we trust, release, and surrender. Yan.
Wow.
Dapat papatype ko sa ano, pero shinare ko na yung sagot. I'm, I'm looking at the time.
Yeah.
Bilis ng
Thank you
oras.
for saying it though, because the way you said it really felt as if it was like how you intended to feel, and I really felt that. I think the viewers felt that, and I appreciate you for saying it up front, Mr. Singblad. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. And then, ayan. So, the space in between, right, can be quite scary. You know, the uncertainty, the not knowing can be uncomfortable. But my invitation to you is to trust. Trust that just as you've been guided in the past, the same wisdom, guidance, and leading are with you as you go through your life's journey. So, ayun.
Wow.
So, kapit lang kapatid. Hold
I
on to
love
your faith. Do what you can and let go
that.
of the outcome.
That that really feels right. Kapit lang kapatid, kasi faith will open up the clouds, and in God universe, whatever um, that you think is supporting you will shed some light, and that light will point to the direction of the next step in the dark. Now we don't have to see the stairs, we just have to see the next step, and then
Yes.
along the way things light up. And as a human being, you get to enjoy life, the life, the gift of life, like, you know it, today has been, wow, full of life. And tonight has been, I like to end the week learning a lot of stuff too. And sometimes learn these things, what you did just now, Miss Justine, are like the epitome of the week. They that, like, it's a high note that sometimes people are just like, okay, things are peace. Like, my week has been like hell, or it's been good. It's a mix of two, or maybe some things that aren't good and evil but are just noticeable too. And your story just helps it come to life. Like, you have a lot of things functioning in a day in the life of a human being. The things that your story and another human being's story can meet if you can come from a place of this faith too, because that's a defining thing for resonance. For me, that's a connecting point for human beings, as we understand that, like, right and wrong, and then how the depth of right we can do is felt by others, and the depth of wrong, oh, your God, can be felt too. So choose who you feed as wolves, the light or the dark. And kapit lang kapatid, and I from all the stories we've been talking here for these sessions, it doesn't last long. The hard parts that, but I'm just so glad, people hold on, and it's not comfortable holding on, right? Like, it's really not. It's like, I'm done, I know, but there's that little feeling, that little voice, like, saying to you guys, for people watching, like, I won't do it, I won't end it here. So you say to yourself, or you don't even have to say the words. You just feel like, I should just let it be one more day, and then something comes up, and things change. Things start to change, and then you're here talking about these things, and you go through 5 or 10 years of it, and then you're so glad you didn't end it there. And for a human being, I think, the purpose of life is that kind of life. So yeah. Miss Justine Mulan, thank you so much. Hold on to your faith, do what you
Yes.
can, let go of the
Mm.
outcome. I love that message. For people who's watching, please send us some in the comments that what did you learn in the process in the bracket of life where you are now, like this long span, like is hearing these things from Miss Justine Bulan, learning that in hard times it doesn't have to make sense that there is light, but pretty sure there's the clouds will clear up. You know, a storm doesn't really last that long, but you know, sometimes it does last a bit long sometimes. So just hold on. And when you do find the light, when the light does shine on you and you have ways to take care of yourself and change the situation, please have the faith. Faith is good, but action partner with faith and the cooperation of the co-creator really helps seal the deal for a fun time on earth. So yeah. Thank you, Mr. Single. Any last words for your for our viewers before we end tonight?
Yeah, thank you. Before we end, I would like to ask, is it okay if I share a little prayer, a short prayer
Of course.
with you and with our viewers?
I would
Ayan.
love that. Please,
All right.
give you the floor.
Okay,
Please enjoy.
so if you are comfortable closing your eyes, please close your eyes, or you may just softly gaze in front of you. And please put your hands in a prayer position in front of your chest, or put them in your lap, whatever feels comfortable for you. And, okay, so this is actually a prayer from that I learned from practicing Reiki. It is an energy healing modality from Japan. So this is the prayer. Just for today, I am at peace. Just for today, I trust. Just for today, I am grateful. Just for today, I work joyfully. Just for today, I am love. So let's repeat it again. Just for today, I am at peace. Just for today, I trust. Just for today, I am grateful. Just for today, I work joyfully. Just for today, I trust. Amen. Alright, whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes.
Wow, that feels great. Like this for today, I feel love. Like that. That makes me look at the love that is actually there in life, that was given to me, or in the other aspects too. Actually, it's so hard to focus on those things if we don't intentionally ask to see them, right? And or to believe in them that and what they are. And but having this exercise, Mr. Justin, is like calling them forth in the day because they do happen in the day. And if we're not self-aware enough, we don't see them. And if we can't see them, we can't be grateful for them. And if we can't be grateful for them, we can't go to depths that actually affect opportunities the way we feel like these opportunities are affected. It's through deep emotions, like and great intentions, the greatest of intentions that support your depth. And yeah, tonight, Mr. Singlin, has been a real treat. It's been a great ride. I call it a ride because you took us on this ride that we felt a lot of things and we believed in a lot of things that for me those are for sure. For people who's just hearing it are like, well, okay, I'll try to think about that in times of where I find myself now, and in this stretch of the story where you, Miss Justine Bulan, have shared chapters that were like, this is what all you needed to do in these times. And now the promise there in the beginning for anybody who's struggling is to not give up because I mean, if we look at the benefits of it, you stop trying. But if you don't stop trying, one thing's for sure, you can find something useful. And well, the first tool in life, I guess, in building the co-creator himself or herself in the process. So, and then through that act, You know what your value is, and then you take yourself to levels that you could only have took yourself if you took that active participation in doing the hard stuff, getting out of your comfort zone. Comfort zone looks like I'm shy. Well, don't be shy. I mean, be afraid of not failing or trying. I mean, that's the worst because nothing really ever happens there. But when you do get friction, you do the action steps, you have faith in it. Wow, results come in. Professor, lab results came in. What do we do now? Well, we decide what best next to do with this information, and then, like as any professor would do, light will be shed, and that will conclude your next step. So for that, Miss Josephine Willis, thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope everybody who's watching had a great time. I know I'm sure I did. I'm sure you guys did too. Quite the ride, right? So with that being said, Miss Justine Bulan, thank you so much and goodbye, everybody. Have a great night. Have a
Thank
great Saturday night.
you.
Great night.